So let's talk a little bit about calorie calculators. When you're first getting started on a journey, and if it's a weight loss journey in particular, you need to understand about calories in and calories out. But the main thing to lose body fat is going to be putting yourself into a calorie deficit. But you need to work out what number is going to be your deficit that will lead to sustainable, constant fat loss. Now, there are a whole host of different apps out there. You could try NutriCheck, MyFitnessPal, or just type in Calorie Calculators online. We're going to go through all three of those. When you go onto these apps, you go through a few details. You put in your body weight currently, your goal weight that you want to hit, your age, your weight, your activity level, and sometimes it asks for a few more questions. The key thing on these calculators is the box that says how quickly do you want to lose weight. Not a single person on this planet will put 0.5 pounds per week. You'll always jump to 2 pounds per week, and this is why you shouldn't do that. If you go onto these apps, and I've done this on NutriCheck, for example, it said if I wanted to lose 0.5 pounds per week, my average intake of calories with my activity level and everything else remaining the same is 2,759 with 111 grams of protein. That is to lose 0.5 pounds per week. However, if I chose 2 pounds per week, that would have dropped my calories down to 2,009 with 82 grams of protein. This is not taking into account anything that goes into my current training regime, just anything at all. 82 grams of protein is less than half of what I would have to consume to keep up my training intensity that I'm currently doing. These numbers that are worked out in this algorithm just tell you a very small picture, and it's purely down to weight loss. That's not going to be sustainable. 2009 calories for me would not manage to give me the energy to be able to sustain my current training, let alone the protein, then actually helping with the repairing and recovering. Likewise, selecting 0.5 pounds per week, 2,759 calories, that's still going to lead to fat loss over the long term, yet that's giving me high amounts of protein that's going to be closer to my actual goal and enough energy to be able to sustain my training volume. Switched it onto MyFitnessPal, all of the same details, again selecting 2 pounds per week, 0.5 pounds per week, and the differences were very, very minimal from NutriCheck. MyFitnessPal says 1960 for my calories if I wanted to lose 2 pounds per week. Again, way too small for me to be able to sustain. Putting it into your perspective, you are going to also select 2 pounds per week. If you don't select the same activity level that I have, that's going to drop that number down and down and down. That's why it might be saying you have to consume up to 1,300 calories per day. I'm now going to go through a calorie calculator online, and you can see on here. So I'm just going to run through my details on here, and I'll do it from when I started my weight loss phase back in January. 89 kilos, exercising 4 to 5 times per week. It does say at the bottom if you want to go into finding out what activity level actually means, and then you can see there, exercise is 15 to 30 minutes. Anyway, calculate, you can go through that. Here are the results. Maintaining weight, 2,754. Again, very similar to the NutriCheck one that said I would be losing half a pound per week with my intensity. Again, these algorithms are all very different on the app. Mild weight loss, 2,500, and mild weight loss is exactly what I stuck with. 2,500 calories was about my average for 4 weeks, and I lost 5 kilos. And you could go to the extreme weight loss, again, 1 kilo per week for 1,754. But you've got to factor in that is not enough energy coming in that is going to mean that I can sustain that activity level. I'd start feeling fatigued, my intensity would drop in the session, so I wouldn't be able to build muscle, and it's just not going to be very enjoyable because I'm going to be restricting what I eat. Now, you can go down through these sections and it will show you how you could manage that level of calories over the course of the week. You see how my average 1,500 throughout the day, 20, there's just loads of different routines that you can do. Rather than trying to hit the same target day in, day out, you could save more for weekends. Maybe if you do go out during the week, you could do that. And then again there, you can see activity level. The easiest way to put yourself into more of a deficit is to increase your activity level. Rather than always dropping down your calories and consuming less and less and less, just increase your activity level. If I added another gym session in, I could either speed up weight loss, or I could then afford to consume even more calories and still lose weight. Okay, now that's another example of calorie calculators online, but what the main point of this video is to be a bit more careful. Don't just aim for the highest amount of weight loss that you possibly can do, because you're going to see that it's going to suggest a very low amount of calories. You may be able to sustain that, but chances are you're not going to be 100% accurate with it, because you're going to realize very quickly you can't survive on 1200 calories per day, because you're going to be going through all sorts of snacks in your cupboards, and if you don't then make those meals satiating to fit within that calorie target, you're just going to constantly be going through fridges, through the cupboards, and you're going to be going into the thousands over your actual deficit number. That's not going to lead to you losing fat. You're going to give up on the journey very quickly into that because you're feeling very restrictive, when you could just take a little bit longer, stick to a very high amount of calories, and still lose body fat at 0.5 pounds per week. That's better than nothing. And what most people tend to find, and here's some data, that 90% of people after finishing a dieting phase will actually go on to gain more weight than when they started. So just think about this before you do the calorie calculators and believe everything they say. Calculator.net is the one that I would recommend to find out the best results for you, and just do it in a sensible way, because it's going to be sustainable and long term. Please like and share this video if you found it useful, and if there's anything else you would like me to do a video of, then please just comment it below or get in touch with me on social media.